So if you just started dabbling into Amazon wholesale, then chances are you've been scanning these lists that you're getting from your distributors, and some of these lists aren't as profitable as you'd like them to be. You scan hundreds and hundreds of products and the margins are incredibly slim or non-existent whatsoever. So in this video, I want to give you some tips so that when you look at that list that you think there is no profitability in it, you can find the hidden products in there that are going to be very, very profitable for you. Hey, what's going on guys? Marvin here. Welcome back to another video. So like I said, in this video, we're going to be going over these wholesale lists, low margin products, and trying to increase the profitability that you will have and the success rate that you're going to have scanning these wholesale lists. So that when you look at it, it may not look great at first sight, but there's definitely profit to be made there. So we're going to go over that. But before we do, if you guys like this video and you guys find it helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already, and turn your post notifications on so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video. So like I said, a lot of people have been dealing with these low margin products, or they scan these lists and there's no profitability in those lists. That is nothing new, okay? That is something that people have been dealing with and I dealt with at the very start as well. But you have to realize something is, in this business, negotiating is normal practice. So a lot of people are worried about negotiating. A lot of people are worried about asking for a discount when they're going to talk to their supplier, but that's normal practice in this business, and you need to realize that. Now, if you're not comfortable with asking for a discount on that initial purchase, then you don't have to. Remember, this is your business. You can do whatever you want. You can try to negotiate right off the bat. You can take a different approach. You can just take the prices at face value for a year if you want. It's completely up to you. Now, I'm gonna go over a few different things that I do personally in my business when I'm scanning these lists, and they may not look great. Okay, so that hopefully it helps you guys out and increases your profitability. But you have to keep in mind, not all suppliers are equal. Sometimes you'll scan a list and there's a lot of room for adjustment, and sometimes you'll scan a list, completely different supplier, and there's very, very little to no room for adjustment. So it just depends on that supplier. Not all suppliers are created equal. Okay, so keep that in mind throughout this video. But some of the things that I do, number one is manual scan. Now, I promote ScanUnlimited. I think it's a great software to use. I use it on a daily basis in my business. I think it's a great software. With that being said, it's still a software and it's not 100% perfect. No software on the market is going to be 100% perfect, and sometimes those products will fall through the cracks, either by the software mistake or by the supplier mistake when they're filling out the inventory list. So if you do a manual scan where you manually go, you look at the list, you get the UPC, or you get the product title, and you put it into Amazon and you do that research manually, what ScanUnlimited would do for you, sometimes you can find some great products in that list that fell through the cracks. Okay, it's not going to be every single time, but sometimes if you have a good supplier that has great products, you can find some golden products in those manual scans. The only downside is that it's way more time consuming, which means that the majority of people are not going to do it, which improves your chances of finding those golden products in those manual scans. All right, so another recommendation I'm going to give you is to negotiate. You might be saying, Marvin, I already know that. That's obvious. I'm going to try to negotiate, but I've been trying volume orders. I've been trying this. I've been trying that. It's not working. Just hear me out. Let me give you guys a few different pointers from my end. When it comes to negotiating is absolutely normal practice in this business. You need to get comfortable with negotiating, whether you do it in the beginning when it's your very first order with that supplier, or whether you do it a few months down the road. That's completely up to you. It's your business. You can do whatever you want. But I am telling you that negotiating is completely normal practice. These people have goods and we want to buy those goods so that we can go and resell them. Now, if we can buy those goods at a much higher rate, so let's say we're buying a big volume order, then we are entitled to ask for a discount. We're not entitled to a discount, but we can ask for that, and then we can start trying to begin that negotiating process. Now, you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to any discount from any supplier. You're not entitled for any favors, but this is business. And in this particular business, this is very normal practice. So you have to keep that in mind. Some people like to ask for discounts in the beginning. I always try to, but some people don't. Some people don't ask for discounts for months at a time. And like I said, that's completely up to you. Now, when it comes to negotiating, you have to be realistic. And I feel like a lot of people are not realistic. They think they're going to go in and get a 30, 40, 50% discount right off the bat. And that's not gonna happen, guys. You have to be realistic, and it also depends on how long you've been working with that supplier. Are you a brand new seller right off, just walking in and asking for a bunch of discounts, or are you an established seller that really knows the ins and outs of this business and how everything operates? That will depend on how good you're gonna be at negotiating, but negotiating is normal practice. But when it comes to negotiating, you have to be realistic. Don't go in and say, hey, can I get your $20 product for $10? It's not realistic. You wanna pick a price or see what kind of price you can get that's a win for your supplier and a win for you. You want to try to find a price to shoot for that's profitable for your supplier and profitable for you. Don't ask for these outlandish prices that you're not going to get. All right, so my last recommendation for you guys is to accept the price where it's at and try to negotiate down the road. Like I said in the beginning, not all suppliers are created equal. Some are willing to play ball in the beginning, and some you really have to establish that relationship with. So I'll give you an example. My best supplier, by far my best supplier that I work with, I've been working with them for almost 3 years now. In the beginning, they were incredibly difficult negotiators. Like they wouldn't give any budge whatsoever. Maybe a 25-cent discount, maybe a 50-cent discount, which the products that I was buying, it was, yeah, thanks for the discount, but it's not really doing much, right? So they're negligible discounts that they're giving you. Almost just giving you a discount just to say they gave you one. And this went on for a while. Like this went on for well over a year. I was buying these consistent orders and the negotiating wasn't getting any better. But I believed in working with the supplier because I thought they were a great supplier, and turns out they were. They were a great supplier to work with, and it was all worth the effort. And like I said, guys, this went on for well over a year, consistently placing those orders, but nothing was changing. So I backed off. I backed off on trying to negotiate. I just accepted the price where it was at, and I tried to negotiate down the road. I continued to do this because the supplier was profitable. It was a lot less profitable than I'd like them to be, but they were profitable enough for me to keep going. Now, I'm not saying do business with suppliers that you're losing money with. If you're breaking even and you want to do that for a short time, that's up to you. I'm not crazy about that. I have to be making some profit. And that's what I was doing, so I stuck around. And after that year, things got incredibly easier when it came to negotiating, to the point where I would just put a certain discount percentage into my scanning software. Every single product was filtered with that discount percentage, and on top of that, I would still continue to ask for more. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I wouldn't. So we're at a point with this supplier, it was incredibly rare to get $1 off. Now I could get $5 off or $10 off, much larger discounts. That made it to the point where this supplier became my best, most profitable supplier that I work with. But it came with time, and that's what a lot of people don't like. They try to negotiate once, they try to negotiate twice, and they've never done business with them, and it doesn't go their way. So they say negotiating doesn't work, or they can't get anybody to negotiate with them. But this takes time. This is a long-term business that you can really set up if you take the time to do so, and you really invest into building those relationships with your suppliers. A lot of people don't realize a few things with this business. It's a numbers game, and it's a people business. And the sooner that you guys can wrap your heads around that, then the sooner you can be on pace to create a successful wholesale business. All right, guys, but those are a few things that I would recommend that you guys do when you're dealing with these wholesale lists, that the margins seem much slimmer. Trust me, guys, a lot of these lists, they put it at a certain price, but you can definitely get lower prices. It may just take some time. It may just take a few different tactics that we talked about here, but hopefully these things will increase the profitability of those lists. I just share these things that have worked for me so that hopefully it will work for you. And if they do, let me know down below in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already. Turn your post notifications on so you guys don't miss any future videos, and I will see you guys in that next video.